The operation is over, as Binali Yildirim says. How will it be judged, and was it a success?
Well, Turkey's National Security Council spoke of 3 successes when it comes to Operation Euphrates Shield. The first was to ensure Turkey's national security. And here in Gaziantep, of course, we're not too far away from the Syrian borders, and we've been doing a lot of travelling over the past few weeks and months around these areas and seeing how things have improved when it comes to security. So, of course, many of the towns on the border used to be shelled or suffered rocket attacks from Daesh, and now that they've been pushed back from those border areas, things are a lot better there. We've been able to go to some of those places. A tea house, for example, down in Karkamash, which was previously closed and now has been able to reopen. The second was to prevent the threat from Daesh, and as I've said, the rockets have stopped, and they've been able to take around 2,000 square kilometers, just over 2,000 square kilometers of territory from Daesh, including Jarablis, including the symbolic town of Dabaq, and as well as the former stronghold of Al-Bab, which took a couple of months to take from Daesh. And the third was to provide a safe zone for Syrian civilians in northern Syria. And again, we've seen many evacuations from opposition areas, evacuees going to those areas in northern Syria and being provided relatively safe refuge. But, of course, when it comes to Operation Euphrates Shield, the Turkish government spoke of fighting terrorists. And, of course, for the Turkish government, that doesn't just include Daesh, but also the YPG, which the government considers, the Turkey considers the Syrian branch of the PKK terror group. And in that regard, they have been able to prevent the YPG from joining up areas under its control in northwestern and northeastern Syria. And yet the YPG, the Turkish government formally gave a red line. They said that the Euphrates River was the red line for the YPG and that they couldn't cross over to the west of the Euphrates River. But the YPG do still control territory in Afrin, over in the northwest of Syria, as well as in Manbij, which is just to the east of Al-Bab.
Well, what comes next now then, Abubakr?
Well, I've just mentioned Al-Bab there, and the Operation Euphrates Shield, the Turkish government have spoken previously about taking Manbij. They said that was the next target. Manbij, of course, is under the control of the SDF, this group that is largely made up of the YPG. But what we've seen now is essentially the Syrian regime creating a sort of buffer zone between the Turkey-backed FSA forces on one side and the SDF and the YPG on the other. And as well as the regime, you also have American forces patrolling in Manbij and Russian forces as well in the area, all providing support and a message of support for the SDF. And so what we've seen is Turkey appearing to avoid confrontation with those, obviously, international powers. And, of course, you've got to look at, as well, the rapprochement that's happened between Turkey and Russia over the past year. Turkey doesn't want a confrontation with Russia. And yet Binali Yildirim, of course, has said that any further or any future threats to Turkey will be confronted, that just because Operation Euphrates Shield is over, it doesn't mean that a future operation might not start under a different name.